top 8 trade jobs desperate for workers in 2026. Right now, today, there are employers across the country sitting on open trade positions they cannot fill. Not because they don't want to hire, not because the pay isn't there, because there are literally not enough qualified people to do the work. I'm talking about industries where the shortage isn't a rumor or a projection. It's the reality on the ground right now in 2026. Today I'm giving you 8 trades where that desperation is the highest and the opportunity for you is the biggest. Whether you're just out of high school, trying to figure out your first move, or you're a career changer who's finally done with whatever it is you've been doing, this video is for you. I've been in the trades for 30 years. I've got a network of buddies across every trade you can name, and I talk to contractors, union reps, and facility managers on a regular basis. The feedback right now is consistent across all of them. We cannot find people. We're turning down work. We're losing contracts because we don't have the workforce to execute. That's your opportunity. Number 1 on this list is a trade where one major industry association put the current shortage at over 500,000 workers nationally. I'll say that again, 500,000. Stay with me for that one. Before we get started, smash that like button and subscribe. All right, let's get into it. Trade 8, geothermal heating and cooling installer, ground source heat pump specialist. I'm starting with the one that almost nobody in the trade world is talking about, and I think that's a massive missed opportunity. A ground source heat pump installer, also called a geothermal HVAC specialist, designs, installs, and maintains heating and cooling systems that exchange heat with the earth rather than the outside air. These systems are significantly more energy efficient than conventional HVAC. They qualify for a substantial federal tax credit under current energy legislation. And the residential and commercial demand for this is growing fast. Here's the workforce reality. There are almost no trained installers. The geothermal HVAC market has been growing faster than the training pipeline for years. Most HVAC contractors don't touch geothermal because they don't have anyone on staff who knows how to do it. The ones who do have a trained geothermal crew are turning away work constantly because demand is outpacing their capacity. Pay for experienced geothermal installers runs $65 to $95K. The HVAC contractors who've built a geothermal specialty are charging premium rates. These are not commodity installs. A ground source heat pump system for a residential customer runs $20,000 to $50,000 installed. The margin is strong and the competition is almost non-existent in most markets. After 30 years in HVAC, I can tell you, if I were starting a new specialty today, geothermal would be at the top of my list. The path in is an HVAC background, plus manufacturer-specific geothermal training through companies like Water Furnace, Bosch, or Climate Master. If you've ever dreamed of financial, location, and time freedom, listen up. My brother Shane created Content Growth Engine, and I'm not just saying this because he's family. I'm a student and a member myself. In just 1 month, I had my first $214 day. By month 4, I had a $445 day. And by month 5, I had a $519 day. And it just keeps building from there. It's a simple, proven system for growing your YouTube channel and earning a full-time income in less than 4 hours a week. No marketing background, no tech skills, just results. Link is in the description and pinned in the comments below. Go check it out and start building your freedom today. All right, next up, trade 7, ironworker structural steel erector. Here's a trade that has been in the workforce shortage for years, and the situation's not improving. Structural ironworkers, the guys who erect the steel skeletons of commercial buildings, bridges, stadiums, and industrial facilities, are one of the hardest crafts to staff in all the construction right now. Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat the physical side. Ironworking is demanding. You're working at heights. You're handling heavy steel. The weather doesn't stop the job. But here's what I will tell you. The pay reflects every bit of that. Journeyman ironworkers through IABSW locals pull 75 to 120K, depending on the market. In major metro areas with strong union presence, New York, Chicago, Boston. Total compensation, including benefits, pushes well above 130K. And the foreman and connector premium, the guys who actually make the connections, high steel, comes with additional pay on top of the base scale. The shortage is real, and structural ironworker apprenticeship completions have been declining for years, while commercial and infrastructure construction demand has been climbing. The infrastructure bills that have pumped money into bridge repair, highway construction, and public buildings all require structural steel. And structural steel requires ironworkers. My buddy who runs an ironworker crew in the Midwest told me he's been shorthanded on every single project for the last 3 years. Not one exception. Now this next one, trade 6, telecommunications lineman, fiber and aerial plant specialist. I touched on fiber optics works in a previous video from the underground technician side. But the aerial and telecommunication lineman side of this equation is its own workforce crisis, and it deserves its own spotlight. A telecom lineman works on aerial fiber optic cable and coaxial plant and wireless infrastructure, climbing poles, working aerial lifts, splicing and tensioning cable, installing equipment at heights. The demand driver here is the same as underground fiber. The 42 billion BEAD broadband expansion program is funding rural and suburban fiber buildouts across the country right now. And the contractors doing this work are desperately short on aerial linemen who know how to work safely and efficiently at heights. Pay runs 60K to 95K for journeyman linemen. The ones who are NWSA certified, National Wireless and Structural Association, for tower climbing and working on wireless infrastructure can push 90K to 120K. And the schedule often includes per diem and travel pay that meaningfully bumps total compensation above base rate. The path in is through telecommunications lineman apprenticeship, IBEW, and CWA. Both have programs. Or through a tower climbing certification and entry-level position with a telecom contractor. All right, next up, trade 5, sheet metal worker, commercial kitchen and exhaust hood specialist. Here's a subspecialty that most people, even most sheet metal guys, don't think about. Commercial kitchen ventilation and exhaust hood fabrication and installation. Every restaurant, hospital cafeteria, hotel kitchen, and institutional food service facilities in the country has a commercial exhaust system. These systems have to be designed to code, fabricated to specifications, installed correctly, and maintained regularly. And the shortage of sheet metal workers who specialize in commercial kitchen work is generally severe. The commercial food service industry has been expanding steadily, and every new restaurant, every kitchen renovation, every hospital expansion triggers a need for sheet metal ventilation work. The sheet metal workforce overall has a significant age gap. A large percentage of the journeyman sheet metal workers are within 10 years of retirement, and the apprenticeship pipeline is not filling fast enough. The SMWIA, Sheet Metal Workers International Association, has been raising the alarm on this for years. Pay for journeyman sheet metal workers runs 65 to 100K. The commercial kitchen specialists who also have fire suppression system knowledge, understanding how ANSEL systems integrate with exhaust hoods, are in particularly strong positions because that combination of skills is rare. The path in is the SMWIA apprenticeship, which is 5 years and fully paid. You earn while you learn from day one. Now this next one is interesting. Hey, real quick, if you're watching this and thinking, okay, some of these are generally interesting, but still need help figuring out which direction makes sense for me, check out Course Careers. They got an AI career counselor named Coura, and she will literally walk you through it. Coura helps you figure out if HVAC, plumbing, electrical, construction project managing, construction estimating, architectural drafting, or a supply chain coordinator fits your goals, your lifestyles, your personality. Then you can start the free intro course it recommends. No experience, no degree needed, and get a real feel for the day-to-day before you commit to anything. Students have used this to break into high-paying careers in as little as 4 to 12 weeks. Link is in the description and pinned in the comments below. Trust me, knowing which trade fits you before you go all in, that's the smartest move you can make. Trade 4, plumber, medical gas, and sterile water system installer. I've talked about medical facility plumbing before, and I'm bringing it back here because it's a perfect fit for this list. The shortage of plumbers who can work in healthcare construction environments is not getting better. It's getting worse, and the demand side keeps growing. A medical gas installer works with oxygen, nitrous oxide, medical air, vacuum, and other specialty gas systems in hospitals and surgery centers. This is not residential plumbing. It requires ASSE 610, medical gas installer certification, an understanding of the NFPA 99, healthcare facility code, and the ability to work in active healthcare environments where patient safety is the standard against which everything gets measured. Healthcare construction spending in the U.S. has grown every single year for the last decade, and there's no sign of that slowing. Every new hospital wing, every surgery center expansion, every dialysis clinic build out needs a certified medical gas installer, and the pool of plumbers who hold that certification is small and aging. Contractors bidding healthcare work routinely lose projects, not because the price was wrong, but because they can't demonstrate they have certified workforce to execute. The pay runs $75K to $115K for certified medical gas installers. Lead plumbers and foremen on hospital projects clear $95 to $130K. If you're a licensed plumber and you don't have your ASSE 610 yet, get it. It will immediately separate you from the majority of the licensed plumber workforce and open doors to the most stable, highest paying segment of their entire plumbing industry. All right, next up, trade 3, pipe fitter, cryogenic system specialist. Here's one that genuinely surprises people. A cryogenic system pipe fitter installs and maintains pipe systems that handle extreme low temperature fluids, liquid nitrogen, liquid oxygen, liquid hydrogen, and the liquid natural gas. These systems are used in medical facilities, semiconductor manufacturing, food processing, aerospace, and the rapidly growing LNG liquefied natural gas export infrastructure. The reason this lands in number 3 on the desperate for workers list is the combination of extreme specialization and exploding demand. LNG export capacity in the United States has been expanding dramatically. Semiconductor fab construction is booming, driven by the CHIPS Act, and the medical and industrial gas distribution infrastructure is growing steadily. Every one of these sectors needs cryogenic pipe fitters, and there's almost none available. The work requires a journeyman pipe fitter background, plus specific training in cryogenic systems, understanding thermal contraction, insulation systems, vacuum jacketed pipe, and the safety protocols for handling fluids that are hundreds of degrees below zero. Pay for cryogenic pipe fitters runs $85K to $125K. The specialists working on LNG facility construction and semiconductor fabs are clearing $130,000 to $160,000 on major projects. This is a specialty where your skills make you irreplaceable on a project. Contractors don't want to lose a qualified cryogenic filter mid-job under any circumstances. All right, this is where the numbers get really serious.
Quick break here. Check out which trade is best for you and access the free course below.
Trade 2, HVAC technician, commercial and industrial service. Look, I've been in HVAC for 30 years. I own a business, and I'm telling you from personal experience, the commercial and industrial HVAC service technician shortage is the most acute labor crisis I've personally witnessed in 3 decades in this industry. This is not a projection. This is what I live every single day. A commercial and industrial HVAC service technician maintains and repairs large rooftop units, air handlers, chillers, cooling towers, and building mechanical systems that keep commercial buildings operational. These systems run 24/7. When they go down in a hospital or a data center or a manufacturing facility, the consequences are immediate and serious. The demand for techs who can diagnose and repair these systems quickly and correctly is relentless. The shortage is severe for a specific reason. The training pipeline for commercial and industrial HVAC takes 4 to 5 years, minimum, to produce a generally capable service tech. You can't shortcut it. The systems are too complex, and the diagnostic work requires hands-on experience that can only come from time in the field. Meanwhile, the baby boomer generation of the commercial HVAC tech, the guys who have 25 to 30 years of experience, are retiring. Their replacements are not there. The contractors who have them are holding on to them with both hands. Pay for experienced commercial and industrial HVAC service techs runs 70 to 110K. Senior techs with chiller certifications and building automation system knowledge are clearing 100 to 130K. The ones who go independent, starting their own commercial service company with even 3 or 4 solid service contracts, are on a path to serious income within 5 years. I've watched it happen over and over in my own market. The path in: HVAC apprenticeship, EPA 608 certification, then commercial service experience. Get your NATE certification. If you can get into a commercial service team early in your career, do it. The learning curve is steep and the payoff is significant. All right, number 1. I want you to hear this clearly. Trade 1, the closer, residential and light commercial plumber. Okay, here's the one. And yes, I'm putting residential and light commercial plumbing at number 1 on the desperate for workers list in 2026. And the reason is simple. The PHCC, Plumbing, Heating, Cooling Contractor Association, has put the current plumbing shortage in the United States at over 500,000 workers. 500,000. That's the largest raw workforce gap of any single skilled trade in the country right now. Here's what that number means on the ground. Plumbing contractors in markets across the country are turning away residential service calls because they don't have the techs to handle the volume. Homeowners are waiting weeks for a plumber who used to come in days. New construction projects are getting delayed at the rough-in stage because the plumbing subs don't have the manpower to keep pace with the framing crew. This is not a regional problem. It's happening coast to coast. The irony is that plumbing is one of the most accessible skilled trades to enter. The apprenticeship path is well established. The UA, United Association of Plumbers and Pipe Fitters, has apprenticeship programs in almost every major market, and the starting pay is competitive from day one. Yet, enrollment has not kept pace with demand or retirements for over a decade. The result is the 500,000 work hole we're sitting in right now. Pay for journeyman plumbers runs 65 to 105K. Union scale in major markets puts journeyman at 90 to 120K with full benefits. And here's the business owner angle that makes plumbing one of the best wealth building trades going. A residential plumbing service company is one of the most profitable small businesses you can build in the trades. Low overhead, high demand, recurring service revenue from water heater replacements, drain cleaning contracts, and maintenance agreements. I know guys running 4 trucks, residential plumbing operations, clearing 600K to 800K annually. The shortage makes customer acquisition almost effortless. In most markets right now, if you have a plumbing license and a truck, the phone rings. That's the thing about trades. There's always that next level. And in plumbing right now, every level of that ladder is wide open. Look, the trades have always rewarded people who show up, did the work, and built their skills. But right now in 2026, there's 8 specific trades where the desperation for qualified workers is creating an opportunity that doesn't come around often. Geothermal HVAC, structural ironworking, telecom linemen, commercial kitchen sheet metal, medical gas plumbing, cryogenic pipe fitting, commercial HVAC service, and residential plumbing. These are the trades where the work is waiting for you. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Drop a comment and tell me which one of these surprised you the most. I read every single one. Catch you in the next video. Peace out.